Yeah. Well, and and it has been great. And I know we were all talking about all the things that POVAT has provided for us, and Scott and you guys and everything. But now, as I am getting closer to like the end of the process, and it is my turn to put another name in the hat, like exactly how does that go? Like when I send them to you, like what can they expect? What's my the onus on me to do what, and then what should they start bringing to the table and understand about what it means to be referred to POVAT by one of us?
Right. So what we ask of you at Trent as a referrer is basically, again, and I'm going to put this out here. We all know that there are people that probably shouldn't be rated where they're rated because they're quote unquote chasing the almighty dollar. They want to be, sent, and maybe they didn't have the exposure to the things that would get you to that amount. So they play the game. We don't want people who play games. We want people that are legitimately needing our assistance. And because we're a referral agency, we only get those individuals. That's what's beautiful about what we do is we don't get the guy coming to us cold off the street corner saying, I think I need this or I think I need that. We get a big brother or a big sister looking out for their fellow veterans saying, hey, these people helped me out and I think you would be really you would do really good to talk to them for a little bit. So what we need from you, Trent, is basically I'll send you essentially the 5 W's, the who, what, when, why, and where, kind of about your referral. And so what we want you to do is we want you to introduce that person to us via email, and have a conversation with that individual beforehand. Say, hey, these are the 5 W's that POVAT's going to want that POVAT wants going into this, and I'm going to make the introduction to you to Lyle and to Linda and to Will. And so then you get on, email and you shoot me an email with your, Joe Blow's, 5 W's and say, hey, I'd like you to introduce you to Joe. He is one of my, fellow airmen who needs assistance, and I'd really appreciate it if you could help him out. And based on those 5 W's is our jumping off point. Is we look at those and we say, okay, he meets the criteria. He's been referred by an individual who's already been through the process, and yes, we will help him out. And then we start them in the process, and we reach directly back out to them, and we say, hey, these are the things that we need you to do. Here's an intake form. Fill out our intake form. Give us a little bit more in-depth information from the 5 W's. You fill out that intake form, and then once we have that, then we turn you into an active case. And once you turn into an active case, then we're going to ask you for your medical records. We're going to ask you for if you're already a veteran, we want your DD 214. There are certain other documents that we're going to want. But the moment that Joe goes radio silent on us and doesn't want to participate, I call Trent and say, hey, you remember your buddy Joe? I don't know what's up with him.
Get
but
him. That's the first sergeant talking. That's like, hey, you better
he's
get your
gone
boy.
radio silent on us, and I need you to engage. And that's
Nice.
that's what makes us good. It's because you're not going to refer someone who's not a hard charger, who doesn't want to do the right thing. You're going to refer the right people to us, and that's why we're so successful.
Well, and one of the things that, we're recently retired. So I have obviously still a bunch of buddies that are following me out the door, just like I followed other people out the door. At what point, how far out from retirement should I start getting these folks in touch with you? And I know it's probably case dependent. Like I probably needed to get in touch with y'all way before I did because I'm mostly not smart.
And who told you that, Trent? Who
Yeah.
told you that for months? Was it me and Peaches? Oh, it was me and Peaches. Oh, it was me in the process going, hey, Trent, you should have started earlier. I'm sorry. That's just a personal thing.
Scott's a very patient man. I'm just throwing it out.
Yes.
And I will say, for full disclosure, Scott has not called me to tell me that you're an idiot. So that's good. Scott has not taken his time out to call me and be like, hey, Aaron, is
Right.
Trent really functionally an idiot, or is he just playing a game?
Well, he got to know me and he says it to my face. So.
Right.
Good.
He's very good at. I mean, he spends a lot of his time on the phone talking to a lot of veterans. We say one vet at a time, but we want you to feel, Aaron, like you were the only vet that we were paying attention to. Same thing
That's
with you,
true.
Brent. We want you to feel like you're the only, you're our family. We want you to feel like you're the only vet we're paying attention to. And Scott does a very good job of doing that and spending the time with you on the phone and walking you through the regulations and things that you should be thinking about.
Yeah. So like, but like the question is, if I have a buddy that's like a year and a half, 2 years out, like if I refer them, are you guys gonna be like, let's wait until we make this active?
I would tell you that this is the paralegal in me. It depends, and you're right. It depends on how many issues this person has. If you know they've got a lot of issues, that's going to take quite some time to get through, whether it be physical and or psychological or both. Then we need more time. But a year out is good. So 12 months out is good. It's workable. We can start building. Again, it's going to be on that individual to go to their PCM, to go to their mental health provider, to go to the appointments, to get the information documented. Because the thing that we're trying to do with the benefits delivered on discharge is make sure that your records are squared away before you get out, while you have access to care. And so when you go into the flight doc or when you go into the mental health provider and you talk about these things, you talk about it coming from a place of knowledge and understanding about what you need to tell them to get the proper note added to your records, which the VA is then going to look at and say, yep, that makes sense. So I would tell you a year out is good. But if you got a lot of issues, like more than the average Joe, or you've been hiding a lot of issues for a lot of years,
What?
You might need a little bit more time.
You mean you wouldn't be transparent? Yeah. So, for reference on this one, I think I was referred about 9 months out from flash to bang, and I did have, I think I ended up claiming I had over 20 issues or something, 20 separate claims. They got approved, and there was a handful of others that they were like, oh, not service connected. I was like, well, that's weird. I did it on the job, but whatever, I'll take it. It was intense. Like, you really do. And my med records were completely screwed up. I wasn't honest and open with really any of my caregivers about the injuries that I had, because personally, I didn't want to be off the team. Yeah. I have a shoulder that's needed surgery for about 12 years. I have a torn labrum and a torn rotator cuff. I've never had it fixed. You know why? Because it's 7 months down, and I don't want to be off the mats, and I didn't want to be off the team. And now it's that left shoulder that, I'm one of those guys that doesn't oftentimes try to raise my left shoulder because it just doesn't work a whole lot. But, I was kind of that harder case, and Scott still found a way to make it happen in like 9 months, 8 months, which is crazy.
But he's a lot happier with me when I give him more time.
Exactly. Yes.
So right. He's like, wow, I can't believe you sent this guy to me. Like, I'm like, dude, he needs help now. I'm sorry. That's what it is.
And that was a true statement. I did need the help, and Scott was there for me, and he still made it happen. He did tell me I was an idiot, though, and he was right.